Good afternoon and welcome to Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey for Pope John Junior Lion Lacrosse. Mike Formasano here calling today's action. It is the semifinals of the Greater Morris County Championships as the Pope John Lions will be taking on the Heritage Lancers. Heritage earned their spot here in the semifinal by defeating Frailinghausen last week in the quarters, and Pope John got a bye into the semifinals. So, first semifinal here for the Greater Morris County Championships, and then later today or tomorrow, Delbarton versus Mendon Borough, and the winners of both games will meet at Delbarton High School on Thursday, May 25th. Let's go over the rosters for the Pope John Lions, starting with number 2, Aiden Hicks. Number 24, Andrew Jessamaria. Number 7, Connor Clifford. Number 23, Dante Lamb. Number 33, Emilio Barranco. Number 1, Evan Wanamaker. Number 8, Frankie Spagnola. Number 39, Johnny Pippa. Number 35, Hayden Marshall. Number 3, Jack Seeger. Number 40, Johnny Kranga. Number 10, Justin Perella. Kellen Nelson's 22. Matt Riley's number 12. Michael Formasano's number 2. Michael Morelli, number 45, in net for the Lions today. Number 41 is Nick Boyanowski. 42, Ronnie Ziegler. 25, Ryder Gervald. Number 5, Sal Diarco. Number 20, Steve Leonard. 44 is Ty Plotz. Number 4, Victor Fiore. And number 6, Zachary Cash. The head coach of the Pope John Lions is Christian Vosa. Coaching staff, Chris Hoffman, Chuck Gervald, Matt Emmering. And the program coordinator is Beatrice Pippa. And I am Mike Formasano, and welcome to Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey, as both the Lions and the Heritage Lancers get set to begin the semifinal of the Greater Morris County Championships. They're at midfield, talking to the referees giving instructions, and we'll be back with opening face-off right after this. Welcome back to Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey for Pope John Junior Lion Lacrosse. Mike Formasano calling today's action. Thank you so much for joining us. The Lions taking on the Heritage Lancers out of Livingston, New Jersey for the semifinal of the Greater Morris County Championships. Pope John was 8-0 going into yesterday, but lost to Verona 9-7. And you could be in the school of either you want to go undefeated and keep winning, or maybe a loss is a good thing at this time, and you go ahead and learn from there. However, doesn't matter at this point in time. What matters is Pope John finding a way to win today and get to the finals. I'm of the school of the latter. Maybe a loss is good. You go ahead and kind of refocus. You know, teams win, teams lose, and it's something to bounce back from. We will see if Pope John can bounce back today. Here's the opening face-off between Dante Lamb and the midfield centerman for Heritage, and that's number 3. We'll go with numbers for the Lancers, of course. On the referee's whistle, 10-minute quarters. And here we go. Ball still on the turf, and it's number 7 for Heritage fighting for it. Lamb's all over him. This is the semifinal of the Greater Morris County Championships. Kelly Nelson will race up the far sideline. Looking to pass it off to someone. He's got Jack Seeger behind the net. Seeger, number 3. It's going to be guarded by number 15. Now back out. Now the shot by Johnny Kranga comes in. It's blocked, deflected down, and picked up by Heritage, number 8. The goalkeeper, number 20, for Heritage now has it. Pope John in their home white uniforms, trimmed by gold and blue. They are going left to right on your screen. The Heritage Lancers in their green uniforms trimmed by white and black. They're going right to left. Collisions between Plotz and number 14 fighting for the ball. It finally goes out of bounds.
Good try, Ty.
And possession will go over to Heritage. This is the first of 2 semifinals for the Greater Morris County Championships. Game number 2 is between Delbarton and Mendon Borough. Delbarton advanced by a 10-1 win over Mendham Township. And Bendaburo got past Black River. Plotz knocks down number 14, and there'll be a flag on the play. Delayed penalty against Plotz. Here's number 14. Works it up top, gives it to number 7. Number 7 rolling out to the left. Number 6 has it now. Nelson on him. 6 rolls back towards the middle of the field. No score here early in the first quarter at Pope John High School. The Lions, the number 1 seed of this tournament, in the semifinal against the number 5 seed, Heritage. Number 7 behind the net. Passes it back out. Number 6 high over his head. Goes towards the center line. And reaching over, and that's an infraction. So it will go over to Pope John. Heritage got a stick on it, but it was before it crossed midfield. So Pope John will take over. 8:11 to go. First quarter. We are just underway here on a beautiful Monday afternoon, I should say. I'm getting ahead of myself. Monday afternoon here in late May, 1 week before Memorial Day. So summer is right around the corner. So the ball did actually go back over to Heritage, and they will play it in. It's number 6 back to number 14. Now 7 has it up top. 7 passes it off to 14. Defended by Nelson, number 22 for Pope John. Now over to the number 6. Nick Boyanowski on him, 41. Sal Diarco into the game too, number 5 for Pope John. Here's number 3 on the left post. The shot saved by Michael Morelli. Good save by the Lion netminder. And he proves he's on his game early. Here's number 6, passing it behind, now dropping down low to number 2. Good defense by the Lions, not letting number 2 break in to get an easy shot on goal. Matt Riley in on the defense along with Nelson. Now number 6 on the left post in the near sideline. Walking, maybe a bit of a trot towards the goal. Winds up, fires, misses to the right of the post and goes out of bounds. And that looks to be Pope John possession. 7:13 to go. First quarter. No score between Pope John and Heritage. And the Lions coming into this game 8-1, having won their first 8 regular season games. And the only 2 defeats they had were in the Riverlax tournament in Delaware Valley in Pennsylvania. However, they dropped one yesterday to Verona by a count of 9-7. So their regular season record finishes at 8-1. Pass by Nelson, go to Hayden Marshall, but it eludes Marshall's stick, goes out of bounds, and so Heritage will take over. The Heritage Lancers out of Livingston, New Jersey, right around the area we were yesterday for Verona. Here's Seeger all over the midfielder for Heritage. Now number 14 falls down. We got a flag in the play, and a penalty against Ty Plotz. Infraction against Plotz, and Heritage will maintain possession. So substitutions into the game for both Heritage and for Pope John. Sal Diarco back in, number 5 for the Lions. The referee's about to blow the whistle and get things started up again. There it is. 6:37 to go, first quarter. Number 14 racing in. Boyanowski defending him. Number 7 with the shot. Goes wide, out of bounds. Heritage is closest, so they will maintain possession. Here's number 2 on the left post to pass out. Good defense by Pope John. It's Evan Wanamaker knocking down number 7 for Heritage. Ball's on the turf. It's right in front of the crease and scooped up by Dante Lamb. Here's Lamb. Lamb will charge up the far sideline. He gets a hit from number 14. It's going to be against Lamb, so Heritage will take over possession. Now the Lancers up the field on the right side. Lamb defending number 14. Does a 360. Holding on to the ball, Diarco and Boyanowski on him. Now comes back to the near sideline to number 2. Over to 3. 3 winding up. Elects to pass it off instead. Now the shot by 6. Saved by Morelli. Right to the breadbasket area. He was able to get his net on it. Pass out. Deflected down. It's loose. Wanamaker knocks number 6 off the play and scoops it up. It's hit from his cross, however, by 6. And number 3 will throw it downfield. So here's number 2 coming in on net. The shot, he scores. Number 2 close in on Morelli, and nothing Michael can do about it. Number 2 puts it to the back of the net, and Heritage takes a 1-0 lead. 5:27 to go in the opening quarter. 1-0 Heritage over Pope John. So the Lions will have to work on coming back again today. They did it twice yesterday. Once came all the way back, tied the game at 4, and then they cut a 7-4 Verona lead down to 7-6, but then Verona was able to put the last 2 goals on the board, and actually, Evan Wanamaker did score with 18 seconds to go and make it 9-7, but that was the final score, 9-7. Here's Lamb. Lamb will take the draw against number 7 for Heritage. The Lancers up 1-0. Ball's on the turf. Lamb knocks into the Heritage player. Lions coming out very physical in this opening quarter. Looking more to take the body than they are playing the stick or playing the ball. Trying to set the tone early, Pope John is trying to do. So, number 14, Wanamaker with a slash. Here's the shot. Morelli with the save. Good save by Michael Morelli, who stood tall so far for Pope John. The pass, errant, it goes out of bounds. Nelson tried to keep it, couldn't do so. And Heritage now will take over. 5:06 to go. We're halfway through the first quarter here in the Greater Morris County Championships semifinal game between number 1, Pope John, and number 5, Heritage. Heritage out of Livingston, New Jersey, as I said before. They are known as the Lancers. Green on the far side. Now back behind the net to number 2. He's being defended by Matt Riley. 2 rolls around, tries to come in, tries to go short side, can't do so. It's loose on the side of the net, and Morelli will take over. He passes it out to Dante Lamb, and Lamb will come up the sidelines and make the charge. That's actually Kellen Nelson, my apologies. Number 22 for Pope John. Here comes Nelson. Nelson up the near side. Nelson rolls to his right. Into Marshall. Marshall with the shot. He tried to bounce it in, and it went over the crossbar and out of bounds. But Seeger is closest, and so Pope John will maintain possession. Seeger inbounds from the far corner. He's got number 15 on him. The pass out, it goes towards the crease, however, rolls behind and towards the back line, and it's going to be Heritage possession. So the Lancers will take over. Pass back to the goalkeeper, number 20 for Heritage, and now the pass out to number 17. Heritage made their way here by way of victory over Frelinghausen, the number 4 seed of this tournament, and so now they're trying to upset Pope John in this one. 1-0 lead for Heritage. Lamb knocks 11 backwards. And the pass goes out of bounds. A little shaken for a minute as he passed that ball. Tried to hit his forward in the corner, but it wound up going about 10 feet wide. So Pope John will take over with 3:41 to go. First quarter. 1-0 Heritage over Pope John. If the Lions win today, the finals will be at Del Barton High School on Thursday, May 25th, and we will be with you for that contest. Here is Johnny Kranga racing up the far sideline. If Pope John loses, we will not be with you. And this will be the final game of the season, and we'll return next year. Here's Ty Plotz. He'll roll it out to Lamb on the far side. Lamb coming in on the left wing. Being defended by number 11. Lamb with a bit of a trot as he heads down towards the goal line area. Now throws it inside. That is Kranga. Kranga. The shot to Nelson. He scores! Kellen Nelson buries it into the back of the net. Pass the goalkeeper for Heritage, number 20. Nelson with the goal, assisted by Kranga, and Pope John has tied things up. One apiece. 2:55 remaining in the first quarter, and the Lions are on the board. Substitutions out, the Arco in, Plotz out. Looks like Dante Lamb will take the draw against number 7, as has been happening throughout the game so far. 1-1. Pope John and Heritage. Nelson with the goal to tie things up. Here's a face-off. Lamb against number 7. On the referee's whistle. Referee holding back, waiting for proper placement. Having an issue with number 7 dropping his stick. And there we go. Lamb wins the draw. It's on the turf, but he'll scoop it up. And here he comes. Back towards the center line, and he'll pass it off to Nelson. Nelson charging down the far sideline on the left wing. Does a 360, rolls around number 8. Looking for support. Nobody around, so he'll pass it back to Plotz. And Ty Plotz will set things up. Now over to Lamb. Here's Lamb on the far side. 2:30 to go. First quarter. Pope John has tied things up on a Kellen Nelson goal to make it 1-1. Now behind the net, there's Kranga. Kranga not playing so much on the wing today as he is towards the back. Now Kranga with the shots. Deflected down. And number 20 trying to swat at it. Can't pick it up. It's still loose outside the crease. You got Hayden Marshall on Lancer there. And Heritage is actually be able to pick it up. The pass is not clean, however. The ball's on the turf. But number 6 does come away with it for Heritage. And they cross back over into Pope John territory. Here's number 3, and we got a timeout from the sidelines for Heritage. So, timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. 1 minute, 53 seconds to go. First quarter. Tied at 1 between the Lions and the Heritage Lancers. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey on a beautiful Monday afternoon here in late May. Mike Formasano along with you, calling today's action as the Pope John Lions are deadlocked with the Heritage Lancers 1-1. The goal for Pope John coming out of the net and off the stick of Kellen Nelson. And Pope John will look to try and grab a lead in the last minute 53 here in the first quarter before heading on to the final 3 stanzas. So Heritage will start out as they call the timeout. Number 3 with it on the near side right in front of us. Now back to number 14, being defended by number 1 for Pope John, Evan Wanamaker. Wanamaker with the long pole, gives him the shoulder. 14 rolls off of it, however. Now the shot. Saved by Michael Morelli. Wow. Great save by Morelli. He has kept the Lions in this game so far. Here's Plotz. Plotz will go ahead and flip it over to Hayden Marshall. Marshall into Seeger. Seeger behind the back. He scores! Jack Seeger into the back of the net. And Pope John has taken a 2-1 lead. Seeger from Marshall. And so Pope John goes up by 1. So the big save by Morelli. And as is always in sports, you see an opportunity on one side of the field and the team comes up with a big save or a big turnover, and then they go the other way and are able to score. And that's what Pope John just did. So the big save from Morelli, and then Pope John is able to turn it into gold. Here's the face-off. Dante Lamb loses a draw for once. Here's number 7. It's a rare occurrence nowadays as Lamb has been winning tons of faceoffs. He gets the ball back. Here comes Dante. The shot bounces it just wide of the left post. Seeger's closest, so Pope John will maintain possession. Yeah, it is rare to see Dante lose faceoffs right now. He has been on some hot streak. So Pope John plays the ball back in. Here's Plotz. Plotz with the red helmet. He's been sporting that for the past few games. Now he'll pass it off over to Lamb, who's back in the game. Lamb gives it over to Nelson. Nelson to Plotz. Ty Plotz on the right side. He's got Lamb in the center. Now over to Kranga. It's deflected down. Heritage is able to get a stick on it. But Plotz is able to knock that loose. Ball still on the turf. Lamb scoops it up. Good play by Dante. And so he'll pull it back with 27 and a half seconds to go. Now to pass in to Nelson. Nelson with the shot. He scores! Kellen Nelson is second in the game. And Pope John grabs a 3-1 lead. So Pope John waking up on offense here in these last few minutes, putting in a trifecta of goals. And the Lions with a 3-1 advantage. Just under 21 seconds to go, first quarter, 3-1 Pope John. Lamb is in to take the face off against number 7. Here's a draw. Lamb trying to get position. Now, number 7 all over him, so he can't scoop it up. Clifford in to help out. He's knocked off the ball by 6, but he gives Lamb the opportunity to scoop it up. Good play by Clifford. We got an infraction on the play. It's against Lamb. Oh, no, it's actually 9.4 seconds to go. That's a timeout. So, timeout on the field, and we'll take one as well. 3-1 Pope John over the Heritage Lancers. We'll be back to Pope John High School right after this. Yeah. All the marbles today, you know? Yeah. You love playoff sports.
Yesterday, grown-ups won.
It was a close game, you know.
Close game.
When we get a close game, that's a good thing.
You don't want to blow out and stuff.
What are you gonna do with a 20-0 win?
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
20-0 win, 20-0 loss. Those are tough. The losses are tough, but. Oh, I'll be honest. I wouldn't mind that 10-2 drubbing today. You know, that wouldn't be bad. That wouldn't be bad.
And playoff,
yeah.
I don't mind.
Harry's a good team though, so they knocked off Railinghausen.
They made it this far, so
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. No pretenders left. You know. Welcome back to Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey, for the remaining 9.4 seconds of the first quarter. The Lions charge in. There's Johnny Kranka with it. Kranka throws it towards the net. It goes to the goalkeeper for Heritage, and he'll just chuck it downfield. And there's the horn ending the first quarter. So, Heritage took a 1-0 lead, but Pope John responds with 3 of their own. And at the end of the first quarter, it's Pope John Lions 3, the Heritage Lancers 1. We'll be back to Pope John High School for second quarter action of this semifinal of the Greater Morris County Championships right after this. Welcome back to Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey for the semifinals of the Greater Morris County Championships in lacrosse. Mike Formasano here calling today's action as Pope John Junior Lions 7th and 8th grade squad taking on the Heritage Junior Lancers. We'll switch sides now. Pope John will go from right to left on your screen. They're in their home whites trimmed by gold and blue. Heritage in their road green uniforms trimmed by white and black. Here's a face-off. Lamb struggling to pick that one up. Finally does, however, he's called for the infraction, and it'll be Heritage ball. Good comeback by Pope John at the end of the first quarter with 3 straight goals to take a 3-1 lead. Now Heritage with the ball to start out the second quarter. Number 7 with it on the near sideline. Plot's giving him a shove. Now another hit, and he's knocked over. And it's going to be against Heritage, so Plotz will take over for Pope John. Here's Plotz, he'll fire all the way down the field. Oh, he had the home run pass for Seeger, and he just missed it. So goes out of bounds, and it's going to be Heritage ball. 3-1, the Lions lead. A victory today will propel them into the finals of this tournament. And that will be on Thursday at Del Barton High School. If the Lions win, we will be with you for that. Here's number 14 racing in the shot on goal. Wide left and out of bounds. Morelli hustling to try and get closest to it. It's going to be Pope John ball. So Morelli and or his two defensemen were able to do so. So Nick Boyanowski will take it in with 9:35 to go, just underway here, second quarter. Pass to Morelli, wearing number 45 today. In the white uniforms, is 15 in the blues. So some of the numbers are different between white and blue. Krang has a different number. Formasano has a different number. Kind of goes from there. So here's Dante Lamb. Lamb, number 23 on the far sideline now. He's got number 14 chopping away at him like a axe to a Christmas tree. Here's Ty Plotz now up north. Plotz will give it to Clifford. Clifford down to Kranga. Johnny Kranga back in his usual left wing position. Kranga fakes the pass, now gives it to Clifford. Clifford over to Plotz. Ty Plotz with it. He'll swing around towards the far side. Looking to rip one. There it is. It's high over the crossbar, however. It goes out of bounds. And it's Heritage who's actually closest, so they will take over possession. Number 15 for Heritage will pass it into the goalkeeper. And he'll throw it all the way down the field to number 14. It actually gets there. It bounced off the turf once, but he scooped it right up. And so now, taking a beating by Dante Lamb and Hayden Marshall, but he survives it. However, the pass is intercepted by Plotz. It's up in the air now. Bounces off the turf. Scrum for the ball. Looks like Evan Wanamaker has it. So Wanamaker is able to scoop it up. Get that long pole out of the reach of the Heritage offenders. And here's Evan Wanamaker coming up the near sideline. Scott Plotz at center field. Plotz coming in. Gives it to Kranga. Kranga to the middle of the field. Kranga rips it. He scores! Johnny Kranga into the back of the net. And the Pope John Lions take a 4-1 lead. So Kranga's first today. He had, 4 yesterday against Verona. 3 or 4. And so Kranga goes ahead and gives the Lions their 4th tally of the afternoon, and it's Pope John 4, Heritage 1. The goal coming with 7:58 to go in the second quarter. Pope John leads 4-1. Lamb will take the draw against number 7 for Heritage. There's a whistle. Lamb trying to scoop it up. Ball still on the turf. We're going to whistle. It's going to go over to Heritage. So if Lamb doesn't win it, he usually goes called for defraction trying to play the physical game to get it. You can't play it cleanly. So sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. But as far as winning clean face-offs, he's a master at it. So ball goes over to Pope John. Kellen Nelson will play it in. So Nelson will pass it in to Nick Boyanowski. Boyanowski with the long pole across the center line. Now into Connor Clifford. It just rolls out of his reach. Ball still on the turf. Pope John trying to pick it up. Seeger had a piece of it. It goes over to number 6 for Heritage, and he's got it in his cross. Short pass, and it's knocked off by Boyanowski. Now here's Plotz. Plotz is able to scoop it up. He does a 360. Moves towards the near sideline. Hard pass to Johnny Kranga. Kranga rolling towards the middle. He'll stop. Give it to Plotz. Plotz on the left. He's got Seeger down below. He's got Kranga up top. He decides to give it to Seeger down below. Seeger in the corner. He's got 15 on him. Behind the net, he starts to trot. Looks to roll in. Does a 360. Comes in on the near post. He decides to pass it out to Nelson. Nelson fires. Goes wide to the left. And out of bounds. Good shot by Nelson. Just missed by about maybe 6 inches. So here is number 15 for Heritage. He'll pass it into number 8. Pope John with a 4-1 lead here in the semifinals of the Greater Morris County Championships. It is single elimination. So win or go home. Here is number 11. Plotz knocks him off the ball. Gets it back, however. Here's Evan Wanamaker on him, trying to go ahead and play it loose. Knocked down, however. We play on. Ball's passed over to the near side. Here's number 1 with the shot. Misses. It goes wide right. Good goaltending by Morelli to cut down the angle there on the shot. And number one missed it by about maybe 3-4 inches. Here's number two coming in, rolls 360 down the shot. He scores. He's able to put it into the top portion of the net there. Not much you can do to defend that, and if you can get that close. So with 6:18 remaining, Heritage cuts the score to 4-2. So substitutions in for Pope John. Connor Clifford back into the game. Lamb coming to the middle of the field to take the face-off. Coach Vos is going to go with the starters for the most part for today's semifinal game. Try and extend their playing time as much as possible, especially in a close one that we have here. 4-2, Pope John over Heritage. Lamb wins the draw, and he'll play it into the Heritage side of the field. Lamb rolling towards his right. He's got number 7 on him. Lamb coming in. He'll pass it off to Marshall. Marshall on the right wing. He flips it back to Kellen Nelson. Takes a bounce, and he scoops it up. Nelson over to Kranga. Kranga on the left. He's got number 8 defending him. He'll back up a few steps. Give it over to Nelson. Nelson defended by 1 or 2. Number 6, and then you had 14 kind of sneaking over. However, he goes to the middle of the field. Slows it up. Passes over to Plotz. Lamb giving a trot back to position. Marshall on the right side. You got Seeger. It's knocked down by number 15 and intercepted. Good play by Seeger. He knocks it out of his cross, however. The ball's on the turf. They're still fighting for it. Seeger gets some help in, however, it's Heritage who comes away with it. Pass back to the goalkeeper. He misplays it for a minute. Crank all over him, however. And the pass is errant. But it finally does go over to number 17 for Heritage. Here comes 17. He'll pass it down the field. It's a little too high for number 1. Boyanowski's there to scoop it up. Good play by Boyanowski. We got a whistle on the play. And we got a timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. 5:03 to go, second quarter. Pope John leads Heritage 4-2. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey. For Pope John Junior Lion Lacrosse, Mike Formasano here, calling today's action. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Monday afternoon as the Lions held a 4-2 lead over the Lancers from Heritage in Livingston, New Jersey. This is the first of 2 semifinal games. We're only going to broadcast this one. We're not doing the Del Barton versus Mendon Borough game, but that's the other matchup, Del Barton versus Mendon Borough. And whoever wins that will play the winner of this game. If it's Pope John, we will be at Del Barton High School on Thursday afternoon for coverage of the finals. So if you can't make it out to Del Barton for that, just tune in. Here's Ty Plotz on the far side. Plotz will scoop it over to Lamb. Dante Lamb up top. He's got Nelson in front of him. Lamb will slow things down as the clock goes below 5 minutes. Nelson walks it in, pass to Plotz. Plotz on the right side. Gives it to Marshall. Hayden Marshall on the right wing. Back to Plotz. Over to Dante Lamb. Lamb up top. Lamb will just walk over to the left. No rush. Pope John leads by 2. They can take their time, settle the play. Now out to Nelson. Nelson gives it to Plotz. Back to Lamb up top. Gives it to Krang on the left wing. Krang being defended by number 8. Now the pass over to Nelson. Oh, he was looking to shoot. It just hopped out of his cross, out of the netting. And he does recover, however. Here's Nelson running back towards the goal. He's got 14 on him. Oh, nice 360. And Nelson, he comes in. He shoots. Saved by number 20 for Heritage at point-blank range. He kicked at it. Was able to get a piece of it. Good save by the Heritage netminder. Now it goes over to Plotz. Plotz will back up. Passes it in, close to Seager, the shot. No, it hit off the post. Now he bounces it towards the net, and the bounce almost caromed in. It goes behind. Everybody behind me thought that it had hit net. However, he got a piece of the post there, and it didn't cross the goal line. Here's Johnny Kranga in. Kranga will roll back out. Kranga coming in. Kranga with the backhand shot off another post. Oh, either that or the goalkeeper. I think the goalkeeper may have gotten a piece of it. It was right towards the corner in the net, and then Heritage is able to recover. So Kranga's backhand shot stymied there, and Heritage takes over. Errant pass to number 6. It'll hit the turf. Number 14 over there, Lamb, collides into him. Swiping away, and we got a timeout on the field. Heritage calls time. 3:04 to go. A couple of close calls for Pope John, but they're not able to hit the net. And so the score remains 4-2. We'll be back right after this. That was close. I think he hit post both times. The second one, it was tough to see. It may have gotten an ankle, but it looked like it was right on the bottom of the post.
There were a lot of sticks in the way, too. So.
They hit like 5 posts a couple of games ago in one game.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. You think they'll be aiming for the post?
Oh, yeah, I know, right?
Aim for the post.
Yeah, try and do that. You do like those carnivals and everything. It was like, okay, you get 3 shots, hit the post once and win something. Can't do it.
Yeah.
Can't do it. Wow, my voice is going. That's the allergies, man. It's killing me. 3 days in a row, too.
You've been talking through all the games.
Well,
three games in a row.
Well, here's the thing. We'll get 2 days off now, so that'll be good.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I won't have to do it again until Thursday.
Hoping it's only 2 days off.
Yeah. Well, that's it. It's 2 days, and then that's it, one way or another. So, yeah, hopefully, I think.
No, I said, well, if we don't win this
well,
game,
then that's it, yeah. All right. Welcome back to Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey. Mike Formasano here, calling today's action as the Pope John Junior Lions lead the Heritage Junior Lancers out of Livingston, New Jersey by a count of 4-2. This is the semifinals of the Greater Morris County Championships. 3:04 remaining, second quarter. We'll start play in Pope John territory as the Lancers looking to try and get back on the board and get the proximate goal to cut it with a 1. Pope John doesn't want any of that. They want to try and build the lead themselves or at least hold on to the 2-goal lead. We'll start with the referee's whistle. Here it is. 3:04 remaining. Here's number 14. He does a 180. Around Plotz. Comes back in. He'll pass it off to the wing down low. Number 1. Now it goes to the other side of the net. There's number 2 with it. Matt Riley on him. Riley defending number 2. Fierce. He's got his stick poking away. He gives him a shove. Now 2 gives it off to 7. Plotz gets in there. Trying to knock it loose. A shot. Saved by Morelli. Morelli gets a piece of that and it goes out of bounds. Heritage will maintain possession. Another big save by Michael Morelli. So here's number 2 for Heritage. Play it in. Here's the pass in. You got Victor Fiore all over number 2 for Heritage. Lance is looking to shoot. Goes wide. Goes over to number 6, actually. Number 6 back around the world to 14. 14 with a 360. 14 keeps it. Plots all over him. 14 looking to break in. The shot. He bounces it too high over the crossbar and out of bounds. Heritage will maintain possession. Now over to number 1 for the Lancers. Back to number 2. He'll roll to his left. Back to 1. Number 1 looking to put it in the near side of the net. Morelli guarding that post tightly. Number 3 to number 7 up top on the far side. Minute 48 to go. Second quarter. Now back to number 14. 14 looking to set up for a shot. Plotz chopping away. Now number 6, the pass is errant. It's off the stick. It rolls to the sidelines and out of bounds before number 1 can save it. So Pope John ball. That'll be Nelson who plays it in. Kellen Nelson in. Nelson right up the sideline. He'll cut back to the middle of the field. 14 on him. Nelson breaking in. Races to the far side. Passes it back to Dante Lamb. Lamb will reset action. Up top, he's got Nelson with him. Plotz, Kranga, Marshall, and Seager. Here's Lamb. Lamb looking to break through. He'll come back out on the wing. Lamb has got 14, just harassing him for the ball. Now gives it to Marshall. Marshall back to Seeger. Seeger underneath. Seeger passes to Nelson. The shot. He scores! Kellen Nelson. Goal number 2 on the game for Kellen. And the Lions take a 5-2 lead. Nelson's goal comes with 51 and a half seconds to go in the second quarter. 5-2. Pope John over Heritage. So you got to like what Pope John has done in this late first quarter and now late second quarter to score some goals and try and pad the lead a little bit. Try and build up some insurance for the second half. Lamb will take the draw against number 7 for Heritage. Here's the face-off. He kicks it back, is able to scoop it up. Another face-off win by Dante Lamb. Lamb over the 50. He'll come into Heritage territory. I'll use the football markers on the field. I don't care. I know it's not, but if you're going to play on the football field, then use the numbers. Here's Lamb. Lamb on the left wing. He'll give it over to Seeger. Seeger in the near corner. He's got number 12 on him. Seeger will roll around now towards the near post. Pass in front. This shot, it's right on the goal line, and the Heritage netminder was able to smother it. Nelson tried for a hat trick there. Tried to push it forward, but it didn't get over the goal line. 8 seconds to go. Here comes Heritage for one last opportunity. Pass over to number 11. He can't handle the pass. It's on the turf. Ball's being kicked around. And there's the horn for the end of the first half. So, the Pope John Lions go ahead and score a couple of late goals and pad their lead to 5-2 over the Heritage Lancers. It's halftime here at Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey, and we will take a break for halftime. We'll be back with second half action. Pope John leads Heritage 5-2 in the semifinals of the Greater Morris County Championships. We'll be back for second half action right after this. Welcome back to Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey, as we head towards the tail end of halftime here. The Pope John Lions leading the Heritage Lancers 5-2. Mike Forbesano calling today's game. Thanks so much for joining us today and all season long. Let's go ahead and go over the rosters for Pope John for the second half, since we have a minute or two to kill. We will start with number 2, Aiden Hicks. Number 24, Andrew Jessamaria. Number 7 is Connor Clifford. Number 23 is Dante Lamb. 33 is Emilio Bronco. Number 1, Evan Wanamaker. 8 is Frankie Spagnola. 39, Johnny Pippa. 35, Hayden Marshall. Jack Seegers, number 3. Johnny Crank is number 40. Justin Perella, number 10. Kellen Nelson, number 22. Matt Riley, number 12. Michael Formasano is number 2 with the blue number instead of the gold. Michael Morelli, the netminder for Pope John, is 45. Nick Boyanowski, 41. Ronnie Ziegler, 42. Ryder Gerval, 25. Sal Diarco, number 5. Steve Leonard, number 20. Ty Plotz, number 44. Victor Fiore is 4. Zachary Cash is number 6. The head coach of the Pope John Lions is Christian Vosa. The coaching staff, Chris Hoffman, Chuck Gervald, and Matt Emmering. And the program coordinator is Beatrice Pippa. Oh, we are waiting for third quarter action to begin, and the referees are starting to make their way onto the field. Again, this is game 1 of 2 semifinals in the Greater Morris County Championships. It's Pope John versus Heritage, and the winner will take on the winner of Del Barton, the Green Wave, taking on Mendham Borough. Mendham Borough actually knocked Del Barton for a loss earlier in the season, 8-7, right before Del Barton came to Pope John and lost to the Lions for a second time. So since then, Del Barton's been on a winning streak. So we'll see if it'll be Del Barton, the number 3 seed, or Mendham Borough, number 2, who will take on the winner of this game. And whoever does win will play the finals at Del Barton High School on Thursday afternoon. So I don't know if it'll be the Southgate Fields where it was for the first game or if it'll be the main field. Not really sure. So we will see what happens for that. Either way, it'll be this game today, and if Pope John wins, one more on Thursday, and then the end of the season. I want to thank everyone who has tuned in all season long or come out to the fields to support the kids and the coaches, and thank you so much for all of that. So great to see Pope John Pride in action, and we'll see if the Lions can get another couple of wins under their belt and maybe take home a championship here. Third quarter begins. The Pope John Lions lead the Heritage Lancers 5-2. Lamb will take the face-off for Pope John, who will be going left to right on your screen. And they're in their home whites, trimmed by blue and gold. Heritage in their green uniforms, trimmed by white and black. Infraction on the face-off against number 7 for Heritage. So Pope John will play it in. We start the third quarter. Here is Kellen Nelson. Nelson will run up the far side. He'll pass it off to Johnny Kranka. Now back to Dante Lamb. Lamb, number 23, runs toward the middle of the field. He's got 14 on him. Going to whistle on the play. An infraction, I think, it's an extra ball on the field. That's what it is. So lacrosse ball that came on the field during intermission. So number 17 for Heritage will roll it back off, and we'll start back up. Oh, here is Lamb. Lamb rolls to his right. Lamb fires. Saved by the netminder for. And the interception by Marshall. Great play. Now in front. The shot behind the back. He just missed. That was Jack Seeger with the behind the back shot. He just missed the left post. But a great interception by Hayden Marshall. And the wherewithal to pass it in low to Seeger to try and give Pope John an opportunity. That one's deflected. It almost trickled in. It hit off a Heritage stick. And now it goes back to the goalkeeper, and they'll settle things down. There's number 15, actually a defenseman with a long pole. It's knocked loose. Here's Johnny Kraga. Kraga comes in. Kraga, he shoots. He scores! Johnny Kraga goes 360 and then into the back of the net. And the Pope John Lions lead 6-2. So Kraga with multiple goals today. And that one comes 52 seconds into the third quarter. Pope John 6, Heritage 2. Very nice way for the Lions to start off the second half here. Goal on the board, opening up a 4-goal lead. The Lions were undefeated at 8-0 until yesterday when they took it on the chin against the Verona lacrosse team 9-7 in a hotly contested game. Pope John came back to tie the score once, almost did so again, just couldn't come all the way back. And Verona with a couple of late goals. Evan Wanamaker scored late to make it 9-7, but it wasn't enough. And so Pope John suffered their first defeat. But you forget about that. Short memories here. And with a 6-2 lead over Heritage, if they can close this one down, they will just as soon forget about yesterday. Here is Kranga. Kranga on the left side. He'll give it over to Dante Lamb. Lamb has it. He runs towards the middle of the field. Around Hayden Marshall. He takes it to the right. Now passes it back down low to Seeger. Seeger will run towards the far side. Now over to Kranga. Kranga looking to rip it. He'll hold back. Passes over to Plotz. Ty Plotz in the center. Plotz looking to pass it down low. Finally gets it to Seeger. The shot. He scores! Jack Seeger into the back of the net. And Pope John with a 7-2 lead. Celebration between Seeger and Plotz. Getting a little bit of airtime there. 7-2. Pope John over Heritage. The Lions trying to punch their ticket to the finals at Del Barton School on Thursday afternoon. The ticket is out of the binder. It's on the counter. Just have to punch it. 8:17 to go here, third quarter, and they're leading by 5. Dante Lamb will take the draw against number 7 for Heritage. Kellen Nelson out of the game. Sal Diarco in for the Lions. Got a whistle. Infraction against Pope John, and so Heritage will take over possession. So here's number 14 for the Lancers. Comes in on Diarco. He'll cut back. Diarco still hounding away at number 14. Gives him a bump. Now a shove. 14 still with the ball. Can't break that ball loose. So now it goes over. Oh, there it is. Right on the turf. Good play by Pope John. That looked to be Ryder Javal, number 25, I believe. But the ball goes to Heritage on an interception. Now it's back on the turf. And Pope John trying to scoop it up. Jack Seeger had an opportunity to pick that up. Seeger not able to scoop it. It's still on the turf. Kranga with an opportunity, couldn't get it. And now it's thrown back into Pope John territory. But in the air, Plotz makes the catch. And he holds on. Ty Plotz over the midline. He's swatted at. And we got a whistle. It's going to go over to Heritage. So, infraction against Pope John. Oh, good block by Plotz there. Ball goes up in the air, and he gets a shove in the back. And still maintains possession. Rough sport, lacrosse. You can take a hit like that, and that's totally legal. Here's Marshall. Marshall with the pass over to Seeger. He had the whole left side of the net yawning, but he elected to pass, trying to get the easy goal for Seeger just out of his reach. So good pass by Marshall, just didn't get there. Ball comes back out. And you got to like the unselfishness play of Pope John, and they've been demonstrating it all season long, and that is a true credit to the coaching staff for the Lions. No matter who's on the field, everybody gets to touch it. Everybody gets the ball to them. So we've been seeing that more and more as the season goes on. The passing has been incredible with this team. So here is Craig. And we saw it in the MetLife tournament, both at the 8th and 7th grade levels. They did it on both levels. The 8th graders did, the 7th graders did. It didn't matter. So just good, solid foundation work by both the 7th and 8th graders as one team, Pope John. Here's Craig with the shot, goes wide right. Out of bounds. I think he may have been trying to pass it to Seeger, but it was just out of his reach. Seeger's closest, however, so Pope John will maintain possession. We're down to 6:21 here, third quarter. Pope John with a 7-2 lead. And the tough thing now is you're leading by 5, and you don't want to get too comfortable. You know, it's a good lead to have. However, leads can evaporate in a hurry in this sport. And right now, you're playing for everything. You're playing for a berth in the finals on Thursday, so there is no such thing as running up the score at this time in a postseason contest. Regular season, you can talk about all you want. Postseason, you go for it all. Here's number 14 in on Plotz. 14 rolling to the far side. He'll come back around. Now Plotz all over him. I mean, if they're winning 20-0, that's a different thing, but 5-goal lead. That's not safe. Plotz with the great defensive play. Knocks it loose, and here he comes up the field. Plotz racing towards the middle. Plotz on the charge. This shot saved by the netminder for Heritage. Great save by him. And he throws it downfield. Number 14 with it. The Lancers will stop short there. There's number 14. Passes it out to 1 on the far sideline. Boyanowski defending him. Now out to number 6. Ball hits the turf, but it's right near him. He'll scoop it up. Plot's about 5 yards away. Number 6 rolling out. Pass to number 2. He's in the near corner. Pope John defending him. That's Matt Riley. Not a lot of attention to the defense here for Pope John today since they've been on the offensive side of the field so much. We want to give a shout out to the defenseman and a good play by Matt Riley there, along with Nick Boyanowski playing defense, Evan Wanamaker. Good job by all three. Here's Lamb. Lamb passes up to Marshall. Marshall in close. The shot saved by the netminder for Heritage. So Marshall steals it away, however. And we got a whistle. Flag on the play. And it looks like it's going to be against Pope John. I can't hear the call. They got Lamb for the infraction, so it'll go over to Heritage. Lions lead the Lancers 7-2. We are at Pope John High School. Mike Formisano here calling today's game. Thanks again for joining us. 4:18 to go, third quarter. The Lions lead over Heritage 7-2. So the referee's whistle comes in, and Heritage will bring the ball into Pope John territory. Pass from 14 over to 6. Now it gives it to 3. 3 down below to number 1. He can't handle the pass. It goes out of bounds. And that will be Pope John possession. Clifford running over to inbound the ball. And so the Lions with a 5-goal lead and now possession. Passes it over to Morelli. And Morelli will take it. Morelli looking to pass it downfield. He'll walk it up out of his crease, however. Goalie's got to be careful. Going too far out of the net. They have to race back into it then. If Heritage gets the ball for some reason, you don't want to leave an open net. Here is Kranga. Kranga racing in. Kranga in the middle. Kranga with the shot. He scores! Johnny Kranga with the hat trick. And the Pope John Lions lead 8-2. So Kranga hits net from about 10, 15 yards out. His third goal of the game. And Pope John up 8-2. So substitutions into the game. Michael Formisano in. Lamb will take the draw. 3:40 to go, third quarter. Lamb with the ball, and he wins the faceoff. He scoops it up, and he races down the far sideline. Lamb with it now. Pass number 6 for Heritage. Lamb coming in. The pass in front to Seeger. Just couldn't handle it. Hits the turf, and Heritage takes it over. Now number 11 up the field for Heritage. Marshall swiping away at number 11. He'll go up the far sideline. Here's number 11. The shot deflected off Boyanowski. Ooh, sacrificing his body. He's able to get in the way. Number 11 picks it back up for Heritage. And back behind the net it goes. Number 1 there. In front of number 3, the shot. It did go in. Yep, he scored. Bounced in. Couldn't see it for a second, but it was laying right behind the goal line. So Heritage is able to put it in beyond Michael Morelli, and so now that makes the score 8-3. So 2:57 to go here, third quarter. Lions lead back down to 5 now on that third Heritage goal. So the Lancers not going away just yet. Still plenty of time. 2:57 to go in the whole fourth quarter remaining. Lamb will take the draw against number 7. Here's a face-off. Lamb wins it. Lamb charges up the middle of the field. The pass off to Kranga, just out of his reach. And hits the turf. And number 12 for Heritage scoops it up. Now over to number 8. Rolls over to number 14 for Heritage. And he will take it up. Lamb defending him, gives a swat, and he's going to take a penalty for that. So number 14 into the middle of the field, does a 360. The shot, he scores. Number 14 puts it into the back of the net. We have got a ball game again, 8-4. Heritage is climbing back into it. 2:26 remaining, 2 quick goals for the Lancers, and they have cut the Pope John lead to 8-4. Substitutions into the game. Sal Diarco in for Pope John. Kellen Nelson heading back to the right wing here. I think it's Nelson who's going to take the draw. Yeah, because Lamb's on a penalty. So Nelson's going to take the draw here. Pope John is shorthanded. It was a power play goal for Heritage. It's loose. Ball's on the turf, and Nelson scoops it up. Here's Nelson. Pass to Kranga. Kranga with the shot. He scores! Oh, if you need offense, go to Kranga. Johnny Kranga, number 4 on the game. And Pope John up 9-4. Big goal for Pope John to kind of calm things down there. Kranga rips it to the back of the net. And the Lions back up by 5. 2:16 to go here in the third quarter. Ball still on turf. It's scooped up by Nelson. Nelson coming in. Nelson will hold it. Nelson with the shot. Saved by the netminder. He got a shoulder on it. And Heritage racing back the other way. There's number 11 for the Lancers into Pope John territory. So a big save for Heritage there to quell it at 5 goals trailing. Here's number 6. Now down low to number 1. He'll roll back around. He's got a defender on him. Number 2 in, the shot. He scores. He's able to go ahead and hop up in the air and put it in just beyond the right post and hit net. And so Heritage, again, with another big goal, that will make it 9-5. So Kranga's goal that made it 9-4, all that much bigger now, as it kind of quelled things for a little bit, but Heritage back on the board, making it 9-5. So it's only a 4-goal lead. And you still got a minute 40 here in the third quarter and all of the fourth to go. So nothing, and I mean nothing, has been decided yet. This is a single elimination game. Winner go home. The winner goes on to Del Barton High School on Thursday afternoon for the championship. The loser goes home. Here's Lamb. Will take the draw. We're going to whistle on the play, and it's against Heritage. So Pope John will take over. Here's Plotz. Plotz will play it up. Ty Plotz to Kranga. He gets it over the cross of number 6. Kranga will roll back around to the left sideline. He'll roll it over to Dante Lamb back up top. Lamb with it now, racing towards the middle of the field. Now goes into a sprint. On the right side, gives it to Marshall. Marshall to Seeger. Jack Seeger behind the net. Gives it to Kranga. Kranga looking to set up. Kranga back to Seeger. Now in front to Lamb. Lamb had to look twice into the netting. He shoots. He scores! Dante Lamb puts it sideways into the back of the net. And double digits for Pope John. They lead 10-5. Minute 8 to go here. Third quarter. Big goal by Dante Lamb. And Pope John back up by 5. 10-5 here in Sparta, New Jersey. Lamb coming back to midfield to take the draw. Big goal by Dante there. Trying to keep Heritage at bay. Scoring a bunch of goals here late third quarter. Pope John trying to answer back. So the goals by Kranga and Lamb definitely sufficient for right now. Here's Plotz. Knocks it loose from Heritage. Plotz racing up the field. He shoots. Good save by the Heritage netminder. Number 20 throws it all the way down the field. Gets past the half line over to number 6. Number 6 sprinting up the field. He fanned on the shot, and it goes over to number 41, Nick Boyanowski. Now to pass over to Fiore. Victor Fiore gives it to Nelson. Kellen Nelson racing up. Tried to get the pass into Kranga. It was knocked loose. And so here is Seeger. Seeger will run towards the middle. It's in front in the crease. Picked up by number 20 for Heritage. Keep wanting to say Del Barton. They got uniforms that does dark green. And maybe a premonition of Pope John playing Del Barton on Thursday, but it is way too early for that. So here's number 1 for Heritage on the right sideline. You got Boyanowski all over him. And there's the horn for the end of the third quarter. So both teams trading goals a few different times here in the third quarter. And we got some offensive output. Score after 3 is Pope John 10, Heritage 5. We'll be back with the deciding fourth quarter for this semifinal of the Greater Morris County Championships right after this.
No, he does.
Hey, bud.
Thanks, Glenn.
Well, Del Barton was up by 4 at the end of the third.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Mendham wins in overtime, 11-10. I've been getting updates.
Wow.
I don't know if you want to put it on there. I just figured I'd let you know.
All right, cool.
I know you always.
Thank
you don't
you.
need anything to talk about.
No, I think we're going to mention that. So thank you. Appreciate it.
So we'll be meeting Mendham.
Yeah, that's
They
crazy.
have one kid on the team that's one of the best kids in the state.
Yeah,
I can't remember Mecklenburg. They're probably saying it wrong. Johnny's friends with him.
yeah. All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Welcome back to Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey. For Pope John Junior Lion Lacrosse, Mike Formasano, talking about and carrying and covering today's game. We just got an update. That's why I'm a little flustered. We just got in from Johnny Kranga's dad about the Del Barton and Mendham Borough game. Del Barton had a 4-goal lead late in that game. However, Mendham Borough came all the way back and sent the game to overtime. And the final score in overtime, Mendham Borough defeats Del Barton 11-10. So Mendham Borough punches their ticket to the finals, and it will still be at Del Barton High School, but without the Del Barton Green Wave. Mendham Borough wins 11-10 over Del Barton. And so now Pope John looking to secure their berth in the final against number 2, Mendham Borough. They have a 10-5 lead on Heritage, 1 quarter to go. Thank you for the update. Much obliged. So, Pope John, 10, Heritage 5 as we start the fourth quarter. Pope John traveling right to left on your screen, and they're in their home whites trimmed by blue and gold. Heritage in their green uniforms trimmed by white and black, and they are going left to right. Here's Nelson with it. Nelson will race it up the field, gives it over to Kranga. Over to Nelson. Nelson back to Plotz. Ty Plotz will pass it off to Dante Lamb. Here's Lamb on the far side. Lamb will give it to Marshall. Back behind the net to Seeger. It's tipped loose. It goes out of bounds, and it's actually off of Seeger's stick, so it will be Heritage ball. 10-5, Pope John leads over Heritage. And we got a whistle against Seeger, and it's a delayed call as Lancers go up the field. The ball's loose on the turf. And Kellen Nelson just swipes the stick out of the hands of number 8. The Lancers get the ball back, though, 17. They play it up. Here's Boyanowski. And as Boyanowski secures it, there's the whistle for a delayed penalty call against Pope John. 9:13 to go, fourth quarter. 10-5, Pope John. The winner of this game, as we now know, will play Mendham Borough for the Greater Morris County Championships on Thursday afternoon. Mendham Borough defeating Del Barton 11-10. It's not an upset, But I got to be honest, I am a little surprised. Now, Mendenborough did beat Del Barton in the regular season 8-7 in overtime as well. So 2 classic games with them. Here's 14 with the shot. Morelli may have gotten a piece of it. It went wide, but I think he got a stick on it, pushed it wide, goes out of bounds. So 9 minutes to go. Lions up by 5 here. Ball's played in by number 1 for Heritage. Now it's loose in front, number 7. He loses it in the crease, and Morelli will scoop it up, and he'll throw it downfield. Knocked down by number 6 for Heritage, and so the Lancers back on the attack. 8:35 and counting, 4th quarter. The Lions lead Heritage 10-5. So I guess we will not be seeing green uniforms of Del Barton in the finals. And here's the shot by number 7 in front. He scores. Not much that Morelli could have done there. The pass was perfect. He was right in front. All he had to do was wind up and fire, and he had plenty in net to shoot out. 10-6, Pope John leading over at Heritage. The Lancers cut the lead to 4. So substitutions into the game. Looks to be Zachary Cash, number 6, on defense. Dante Lamb out to take the draw. Rest of the lineup's the same. Here's Lamb. Lamb gets knocked over, but he's still able to secure the ball. Great play by Lamb. Now here's Nelson. Nelson to the far side. Gives it to Marshall. Hayden Marshall running back towards the corner now. He'll run back towards the goal line area. Securing the ball. He'll turn back around. Gives a 180. Now to pass to Plotz. Ty Plotz with it. He'll pass it back to Lamb. Dante Lamb looks to race in. Gives it off to Marshall. Marshall fakes going behind the net. Now he'll run it himself. He goes around the world. Gives it to Kranga. Kranga on the left post. The shot. He scores. Johnny Kranga with goal number 5 on the afternoon. And Kranga's offensive explosion has helped Pope John to a 5-goal lead. 11-6. The Lions up on Heritage. So Pope John, 7 minutes and 38 seconds away from punching their ticket to meet Mendenborough in the finals of the Greater Morris County Championships. Here's the face-off. Lamb wins it. Oh, it's actually Nelson. Nelson with the win. Nelson coming in. Nelson with the shot. He scores! Kellen Nelson into the back of the net. And Pope John now starting to pull away. 12-6. Leads a half dozen with 7.5 minutes to go. Nelson wins the faceoff and just roars up the field, putting into the back of the net. And now Pope John widens their lead to 6. Substitutions in. Johnny Pippen into the game, number 39 for Pope John. Nelson will take the draw now against number 7. Here it is. Ball's on the turf. We get a whistle and a hold. It's going to be against Heritage. And so Pope John will start it out. Pippa out of the game. Michael Formisano back in. Number 2 in the blue. Here's Kranga on the left side. Kranga being defended by number 8. And you like to see a lead open up like this as Pope John's able to get the second strings in and the 7th graders and give them a chance to get some playoff experience here. And that's always a good thing. So here's the pass up top to Victor Fiore. Just rolls past him, but he's got time to recover. And so Fiore will turn back around and walk the ball up the field. Pass off to Formisano. Formisano's got somebody on him, takes a hit, secures the ball. Now it's knocked loose. He gets the penalty, however. And number 14 called for the infraction. So Formisano draws the penalty, and Pope John will maintain possession on the infraction to number 14. So Formisano did a good job of securing the ball the first time. did a 180, and then he gets hit hard the second time, but it was a little too much by number 14. So draws the penalty, and Pope John now on power play. 6:43 to go. The Lions lead 12-6. Here's Dante Lamb. Lamb out to Plotz. Plotz will pass it in to Marshall. Marshall down low. Gives it to Seeger behind the net. Seeger gives it to Kranga. Kranga with 5 goals already. He gives it to Lamb. Lamb gives it over to Ty Plotz. Plotz back to Marshall. A little round the world action in a counterclockwise style. Here's Kranga. Tries to tuck it in underneath. Couldn't do so. He hit the side of the net. Now here's Plotz. This shot. It goes wide. May have gotten the post. The ball's on the turf. Here's Lamb trying to scoop it up. And we got a whistle. Stoppage of play. It's going to be against Pope John, so Heritage will take over. 6:04 to go in the fourth quarter. The Lions lead this one 12-6 over Heritage. This is the semifinal of the Greater Morris County Championships. Mike Formisano here calling today's action for you. Thanks for joining us. As the excitement here in the third day in a row, I'm starting to lose my voice, but we'll make it to the end, I'm sure. And here is Johnny Kranga who scoops it up. Kranga coming in. Kranga will settle it back down. The winner of this game will take on Mendenboro for the Greater Morris County Championship on Thursday afternoon at Del Barton High School. Here is Seeger with it. Seeger turns the page and gives it over to number 22, Kellen Nelson. Now back to Plotz. Plotz over to Lamb. Lamb takes it up top. He'll slow things down. Now rolling around, number 8 gets past him. He comes in on net. The shot. He scores! Dante Lamb into the back of the net. And a Baker's does it now for the Pope John Lions. It's 13-6. 5:10 remaining here. Fourth quarter. The Lions up by 7. So that ticket I talked about being on the counter, out of the envelope, ready to punch. It's now in the attendant's hand. They're getting the puncher, the 3-hole puncher ready. They're ready to strike it. Just not yet. Another 5 minutes and 10 seconds to go. That is the ticket for the finals on Thursday afternoon, if I have to say it, of course. Should be obvious. Then again, I'm master of the obvious, though. I tell my wife all the time, it's like all this pent-up knowledge, trivia, we do well on Jeopardy, but what good is that going to do me? All this useful trivia. Here's Kranga in front. Kranga with the shot. He scores! Johnny Kranga. Goal number 6. I'm starting to lose count. Kranga's 6th of the afternoon, and that will make it 14-6. Pope John pulling away here. 4:58 to go. Substitutions into the game for Pope John. Ryder Gervald coming into the midfield on the right wing, or the left wing, I should say. Andrew Jesamaria on defense, along with Emilio Bronco. Here's a face-off by Lamb. He'll go ahead and race it up the field. The pass to Kranga. He missed the left post. Just missed. That would have been goal number 7 for Johnny. Offensive machine today. 6 goals for Johnny. Played back in by Pope John. Here is Ronnie Ziegler with it. Ziegler will go over to Kranga. Kranga back up top to Gervald. Gervald's got Formisano on the right. Inside low to Ziegler. Ziegler has it. It's knocked loose. It's on the turf. There's a scrum for it. Now the shot by Steve Leonard just goes wide and out of bounds, and it's going to go over to Heritage. 4:23 to go, fourth quarter. Pope John leads 14-6. Here's the pass into the goalkeeper, number 20. He'll dish it off to number 8. He's got Krang on him. Number 8 races up the field, gives it to number 6. Number 6 across the midfield line into Pope John territory. The pass down low, just out of the reach of number 2, high over his head and out of bounds, but Heritage is closest. 14-6, Pope John leads over Heritage. 3:59 to go, fourth quarter. So I believe Pope John's going to actually start possession. So they were closest as the ball went out of bounds. So here's Pope John. And it looks like Frankie Spagnola, number 8 for the Lions, racing up the field. Good move by Spagnola. Passes it down the field, but it's taken away by the Heritage netminder. Again, I wanted to see Del Barton. The uniforms look almost similar. I was doing well all game. Heritage. Here's Gerval. Gerval will pass it out to Fiore. Victor Fiore, number 4 for Pope John. Got 3.5 minutes to go. Number 14 for the Lancers races in on him. Fiore right to the midfield line. The pass out. Doesn't get there. It's intercepted by Heritage. Now it goes over to number 6. Here's number 3 with it. Number 3 being defended. Coming in. Shot way wide of the left post and over the crossbar, and it goes out of bounds. 3:05 to go. So Pope John is 185 ticks away from securing their berth in the final. It will be against Mendon on Thursday afternoon if they're able to hold on. Here's Emilio Barranco. The ball's knocked loose from his cross. Here's Spagnola with it now. The ball goes in the air. Spagnola will pass it out to Ziegler. Right in front of us. It's going to roll out of bounds. I'll get it. Sorry. 2:50 to go. Number 1 for Heritage. Racing up the near sideline around Gerval. He's coming in towards the net. Number 1 with a burst of speed. The shot goes wide to the left post. And we got a whistle on the play. It's going to be Pope John possession. 2:35 remaining. Fourth quarter. Lions lead by 8. Here's Ziegler. Ziegler will turn around. Gets a shove by number 1. Ziegler keeps ticking. Now another spin move. It's finally knocked loose of his cross. He's got 3 Heritage players on him, and the Lancers are able to take over. Jessa Maria all over number 2. The pass cross field doesn't get there. It hits the turf. It's loose on the ground, but scooped up by Jessa Maria. And Jessa Maria with the long pole. It's knocked out of his cross. Ball's on the turf. Number 1 fighting like a demon for it. Scrum on the field. Trying to pick up the ball. It's still loose. And it goes over towards the middle of the field, and then Gerval scoops it up. Ryder Gerval with it now. And he takes a hit and a penalty against Heritage. Minute 48 to go. Fourth quarter. Lions lead 14-6. So substitutions in. Jessa Maria out for Pope John. And Johnny Pippa into the game. We got Ryder Gerval up top. I'll pass it off to Connor Clifford. Clifford down to the left wing to Victor Fiore. Now to Clifford. Clifford with a defenseman racing in against him. Clifford charges the shot off the post. And Formisano's closest. He'll get it before it rolls out of bounds. So he'll keep it in. Formisano will pass it off to Fiore. Fiore with it now. Back to Clifford. Clifford up top. Clifford looking to roll in. Comes back around. Good play by Connor. Connor coming in. The pass off to Fiore. The shot high and wide. And it goes out of bounds. And it'll be Heritage possession. Minute 7 to go. Fourth quarter. Pope John with a 14-6 lead. Pass comes in to Formisano. Formisano behind the net. Michael walking it towards the net. He goes ahead and passes off to Fiore. Fiore on the left. Victor Fiore will pass it back to Clifford. Clifford gives it to Ziegler. Ronnie Ziegler, number 42. Pass off to Steve Leonard. Couldn't accept the pass, and here's Heritage moving down the field. The Lancers into Pope John territory. Number 1 racing up now in front of 2. The shot and went wide. Good play by Michael Morelli. He knew. I'll tell you about it in a second. Here's number 2 with the shot, and he scores. He's able to put it in to the back of the net with 26.6 seconds to go. Here's why the play by Morelli was a great play. Because if he had just sat back in his net, the attacker would have had all that net to shoot at. Probably would have scored. But Morelli came in, charged up against him, and made sure he couldn't handle the pass. And so that's why his shot went errant. Now, it goes wide, and then they get the rebound and they're able to score anyway. But it was a great play by Morelli to prevent the goal on the first shot. Well, it's 14-7 now. No football jokes about touchdowns and extra points, please. 26.6 seconds to go. I tell my kids that's how I learned my multiplication times tables. The 7 times table, it's all because of football. 7, 14, 21. And this is before 2-point conversions. So here's the pass into number 3. The shot saved by Morelli. One more big save for the Pope John goalkeeper. We're down to 10 seconds. Here's number 7 with it. He'll roll back around. Baracco on him. 7 trying to come in. Emilio playing him tight. Here's over to number 6. He can't handle the pass. There's the horn. The pride has spoken. And the Pope John Lions are on to the championships of the Greater Morris County Tournament. Pope John defeats Heritage. Final score, 14-7. So Pope John will take on Mendon-Borough on Thursday afternoon at Del Barton High School as Mendon-Borough defeats Del Barton in overtime 11-10, coming back from a 4-goal deficit themselves. Pope John and Mendon-Borough for the championship on Thursday afternoon. Good solid win for Pope John today, erasing the loss to Verona yesterday afternoon, putting that in the rearview mirror. Heritage hung around for a while, had a lead early, but Pope John, with their offensive firepower, was able to take things over. And so now the Lions move on to the championship. Thursday afternoon at Del Barton High School. Time yet to be determined. We will let you know. Just check TeamSnap and any updates here on Facebook Live. So for everyone here at Pope John High School in Sparta, New Jersey, this is Mike Formisano saying thank you so much for joining us. The Pope John Lions, once again, defeat the Heritage Lancers 14-7. Have a good afternoon, everyone, and we will see you Thursday from Del Barton High School for the championship of the Greater Morris County Tournament. Have a good afternoon.